Boys and girls, I have some awful news. Remember in the last video, maybe one or two back, I mentioned how Joner Fat Cat is now a business, how we now have an executive board, COO, CFO, and CEO. Long story short, we are in the process of losing our CEO. Contract disputes less than a week into the job. So we're going to need to take a step back and reevaluate our processes. We're still looking for HR. We've got some good responses there so far. And yeah. Oh, wait. Hello?
Joner, check your wallet right now.
Check my wallet. Why?
Just do it. It'll solve all of your problems.
That'll allow us to pay the CEO?
Yes, just do it.
How do you know what's in my... Fine. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. What is this? We're gonna be rich! What is going on, people? I hope you are having a good week, and I know you are probably excited for this weekend. It is the last weekend of the championship before the next international break. Sad times there. However, we get a very divine, get it? Divine Mubaba matchup this weekend between the league leaders and the team in second place, surging Stoke City against Coventry City. A match of an immovable object against an unstoppable force. A match that we have all been waiting for all season. At least I know I have. We are going to break it down today. We analyze both sides of the team. I will give my prediction at the end based on these analyses. You can make your own. Please let me know down in the comments if you get the score correct, if you get the game script correct. The good thing is you will win Satan's toe. I'm Joner Fat Cat. If you do not know, please get down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know your score prediction. If you're new and you're not subscribed, please subscribe if you like the content. If you've been here before, just do a favor for me. Check if you're subscribed. If not, please subscribe, like the video, help it push it to more people, get it to Stoke fans, get it to Cub fans, get it to freaking Manchester United fans. So yeah, let's get into it. Now I'll come out here and I'll be the first one to say it. I think everyone was a little bit shocked with the form that Stoke City started off this season. They are in second place, 27 points on the year, 4 wins in their last 5, really been in good form recently. They've scored 8 goals in their last 2 games. Over the season, they've only conceded 9 goals. And for a team that, you know, since they got relegated from the Premier League, their best finish has been 14th and their worst finish has been 18th. This is definitely a shock, even to the fans themselves. It's really wholesome, honestly. The fans are week in and week out not expecting to go out and get results. And you know what? They just are. They are a class team. They are managed by former Manchester United striker Mark Robbins, who had a really, really important goal in the 1989-1990 FA Cup run for Manchester United, which some say saved Sir Alex Ferguson's job. This is Robbins' first full season as the Stoke City manager. Maybe this is the reason for their success, you know, the cohesiveness of his managerial style, his ability to get players and the fan base rallying around him, and obviously most importantly the board. But that's enough managerial talk. Let's get into Stoke City. Let's talk about who they are. Let's talk about how they'll match up against Coventry, and it's a mouthful, so strap in. Let's start with the marquee part of Stoke City this season, their defense. They have conceded the least goals per game this year, the only club to concede single-digit goals. Really, really impressive on that front right there. 6 clean sheets from keeper Victor Johansson. Testament to him, testament to their back line. It's a good mix of old and young, players with experience, player with raw, natural ability. We'll get into them a little bit later when we talk about our key players. Sorry if you heard the CEO. Victor Johansson is holding the highest save percentage in the championship at 82.5% and is ultimately regarded as one of, if not the best keepers in the championship. As I mentioned, they have a wide range of players in that back line age-wise. You've got Aaron Cresswell, old, complemented by younger players such as Ashley Phillips, the Welshman, who's only 20 years old. Now on the right side, a player that I want to highlight is Junior Chamadou, 21 years old. If he was a stock and you invested in him a few weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen, he's paying dividends. He had a goal and an assist against Bristol City in that 5-1 thrashing. Potentially the goal of the year. Definitely the best goal this season so far by a defender. A solo run down the right side, whacks it around a player and just uses pace to get back on the ball and finish. Now that he's become an integral part of their attack, booming down that right side, I think this is a good time to segue into their attack, which, as we mentioned earlier, has been surging in the last couple games. Specifically, 8 goals in their last 2, 9 in their last 3 in their 3-game win week, where they would look to extend it to 4 against Coventry. First person we have to start with, Sorba Thomas. I think early part of the season, this was the storyline of the year. You know, Sorba Thomas leaves England, goes to France for a year, comes back, regains his footing in the English football pyramid. It's with Stoke City, creating chances left and right, scoring goals. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists on the year. However, he only has 1 goal and assist since September 27th. So you got to ask yourself, what has happened? How have they continued to maintain results? And we'll get into that. One final thing I want to mention about Sorba Thomas, down that left side, he has created the most key passes in the championship this season. Not Stoke City, the championship, with 32. So shot creation, shot creation, shot creation. You create chances, you're going to score. Sorba Thomas is at the heart of that, despite not getting on the goal of the assist sheet for over a month's time. Now, the reason they were able to maintain this good form, despite Sorba Thomas not getting on the goal sheet, is specifically their right side of the attack with Million Manhoff and Junior Chamado. They've also got 30-year-old Lewis Baker through the middle, who had 2 goals and an assist in the 3-0 win against Oxford midweek. Now I want to go over to that right side. So Manhoff, right winger, Dutch, very pacey, very progressive, very forward, can pass very well, just as well as he can put one in the back of the net. He had a goal and an assist against Bristol City. Now, 2 stats I want to share with you. Now, this is championship wide. This is not Stoke City wide, okay? And let me just do a double glance to make sure I'm not chatting nonsense. He's completed the most through balls this season, which sounds a little bit lower than you'd expect. It's 6. So in the entire league, he sits number 1. Second off, he has the most carries into the penalty area this season with 24. He's very progressive with his play. He has tons of progressive passes as well. You may be wondering, who is he completing these through balls to? More likely than not, it is City Loney Divine Mubama. You heard that joke earlier in the video. He had a hat trick versus Bristol City. One of them was legitimately handed to him on a platter, and anyone with legs could have scored it. But nevertheless, positioning, he scored 2 other goals the hard way, the right way in that game. First goals since August 16th. So, bit of a streaky player, but probably gaining his confidence at the right time ahead of this matchup against Coventry City. And a little thing to note, he's been caught off sides 3 times in that Bristol City game. As a team, Stoke City have been caught off 39 times this season, which is the most in the championship, just ahead of no one other than Coventry City. We know the Haji Wright special. Caught off sides 4 times, still gets the goals. So coordination of the back line is going to be a key factor in this game for Coventry City. When we get into my lineup, I'll explain that a little bit more. Bobby Thomas being back from his injury is huge. Jay Da Silva is going to have his hands full. He's going to have to deal with Manhoof and Chamadou down that right-hand side. It's going to be an absolute battle because, you know, the goals and the passing can come from 2 different players who have been really in form recently. Probably the worst time to play Stoke City this year. I think this is the first time that they were truly hoisted into the media, getting into that second spot as Middlesbrough started to slide a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup down the right-hand side. Really just how this surging attack and this stout defense go against each other on either side of the ball. Let's get into my Coventry City lineup for this game. Honestly, guys, this decision of Joner Fat Cat's mock lineup for Coventry City versus Stoke City has been keeping me up night and day. I cannot decide what I want to do here. After seeing the offsides of Stoke City 39 times, you know, most in the championship, also parlaying that with the Luke Wolfenden performance against Wrexham, I don't want a 5-back anymore. I would have thought that this would have been the perfect game to do a 5-back, but I'm not feeling that anymore. I think Wolfie looked a little bit off it, and you probably don't want to go back to that for the first time in 2 weeks this game. You know, this could well and truly be one of the games at the end of the season that we look back on and say, you know, that was the difference maker if both of these teams continue their form at the top of the table. So for that reason, I'm going to stick with the 4-back. It worked like a charm against Sheffield United. By the way, as you know, if you follow me on Twitter, you know every time I make these lineups, I screw something up and you can't delete these players. So that's why we've got Ian Rush there. Or is that Cooper Rush? I don't know. No, it's Ian Rush. I'm thinking of a football player. My football. So obviously we can see that there's 1 vacant position here. Now, if I'd slotted Josh Eccles in here, this would be the lineup against Sheffield United. If I slotted Efron Mason Clark in here, this would be the lineup that we ran against Sheffield United in the second half, which led to that absolute onslaught of attack. And I'm having a tough time here as well. Those are my 2 debates. So I just wanted to work through it together and just think, what do I think is our best chance winning this game? Now, it's not at the CBS. If it was at the CBS, I would probably want to do something like this. Bring Brandon Thomas-Asante back into that number 10 role, even though we know it doesn't give the midfield the best cover. Bring Efron Mason Clark out here. You want them all on the pitch for the most amount of time. Haji Wright, great game against Sheffield United. He earned his starting spot. Sox is a no-brainer. BTA, you know, he's pretty good against Sheffield United. Oh, this is hard to decide. Eccles didn't look bad, but he didn't look great in that game. Mason Clark, also, you could probably say the same thing, but I really like that width that he provided. I don't think Eccles can really help that much with possession. I think you have to kind of shock the system here and just stick with what you did in that second half because it was an onslaught. Obviously, game script and situations are different, but I wonder if you just don't go in scared and you just say, you know what, screw it. We've got Torp and Grimes back in the midfield. We know Jamie Allen and Grimes sort of got overrun for a couple games against Watford, against Wrexham. BTA doesn't provide you much coverage, but tactically, let him know that he needs to help out a little bit in the midfield, and then just put your best attackers on. That's the lineup I'm going with, I think. I mean, it could backfire. Obviously, you have no super subs, but this might be a game where Frank just wants to say F it. I'm putting my best attacking lineup out there. That's what's worked all year. That's why we have 39 goals, and we know Stoke's defense is extremely good. Back line is solid. Keeper play is extraordinary. So that is probably my reasoning for that. I would go with that glorified 4-2-4, 4-3-3, however you want to call it. Give Brandon Thomas Asante that instruction to make sure that he's not too progressive early in the game. We don't want to get caught out in the midfield. We saw it a lot against Wrexham, but I think Torp is going to be that calming presence, help us gain possession. Neither of these teams really hoard possession, so it could really go either way. Obviously, being on the road, you'd expect to probably concede, but I'm not feeling the 5-back. It feels a little too overprotective. At the end of the day, Coventry City are in first place. They've scored the most goals. They've only conceded 4 more goals than Stoke this season. Take away set pieces, they've conceded 3 goals this year, maybe 4. That's the lineup I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with that 4-3-3, 4-2-4 hybrid. Brandon Thomas Asante in the pseudo number 10 shadow striker role. Score prediction now. If you saw my Below the Prem video yesterday with Alex, it came out this morning, so Thursday morning. I said 0-0. Now, I disagree now. I've thought on it. I've changed my mind. Sorry, Alex. Even if it ends 0-0, I'm still taking credit for it, though, because we might do forfeits at the end of the year, whoever gets more right or wrong. I'm going with the Coventry win on the road, man. I'm feeling it. 2-1 Cov. I see it happening. This team, the confidence that they brought in themselves in that last 45 minutes, the form that Sakamoto is in, the little boost that BTA and Haji got at the end of the game from getting that goal and assist combo, the back line, Bobby Thomas back at his full strength. I am concerned about the fitness of the team as they had to motor for that last 45 minutes against Sheffield United, but I gotta back my club, man. Let's go 2-1 Cov. End this little stretch of games before the 11 game stretch. 7 points clear at the top of the table. That is gonna be all for today. Please let me know what you think down below. Please subscribe if you're new. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys for my match watch along on TikTok and YouTube. Peace.